5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, almost exactly a year ago, on August 10th, 2022, President Joe Biden signed into law the PACT Act, which has been correctly described as the largest health care and benefit expansion in the history of the Department of Veterans Affairs. This was the result of a 5-year effort by veteran service organizations from the American Legion to the Iraq and Afghan Veterans of America and many others to bring external pressure on the Congress to pass a measure which will knock down barriers so that people who are suffering the ill effects of toxic exposure will actually have the care which they earn by wearing the uniform of this country and serving in some of the most difficult parts of the world. Again, after that measure was signed and it had to overcome a last-minute filibuster by the Senate Republicans, which resulted in a 5-day sleep-in on the steps of the Capitol, and they finally relented and allowed a bipartisan vote to move forward in the bill to the president's desk. There was a lot of concern, though, after passage, whether or not the VA would actually move quickly to enact and implement these measures. Well, a year into the law, I'm happy to report that over 300,000 PACT Act claims have been approved. Over 100,000 new veterans have been enrolled in the VA healthcare from the PACT Act planning population, and over 4 million toxic exposure screenings have been provided. The toxic exposure screenings, again, is a quick 10 to 15 minute review to, again, find people who may be eligible for PACT Act benefits. And again, it is open to all veterans. If anyone's listening, it's not just veterans who are enrolled in the VA, it's all veterans are entitled to have a toxic exposure screening. Again, the questions that are asked is whether or not we're near an open burn pit in the Middle East, Gulf War-related exposures, Agent Orange during the Vietnam War, radiation, contaminated water at Camp Lejeune, or other exposures. In my district, the 2nd District, over 1,000 veterans have filed PACT Act claims, and many have been successful in terms of getting their claims approved. One gentleman who served during the Vietnam War was in Thailand and had Agent Orange illnesses, but because the law prior to PACT Act only covered people who were actually in country in Vietnam, he was denied coverage. Again, he was successful in getting a 100% disability approved. Another gentleman who served in Guam, again, another new country that was added to the law because of the PACT Act, again, was also able to get 100% disability with a back pay award. So again, this is real. It's happening in real time. 10 days ago, we held a PACT Act claims clinic where staff from the local Veterans Department showed up to, again, screen and also present claims. It was supposed to have been only 3 hours. It went way over time. Again, 200 veterans were screened, and 75 claims were submitted right there on the spot. I would just end, Mr. Speaker, by saying people should be aware of the fact that on August 9th, which is just days away, if someone files an intent for a claim or a claim, you are going to be entitled to a back pay award to the date that President Biden signed this measure into law. Any claims filed after August 9th will not be entitled to that back pay award. Claims will still be open and can be approved by the Department of Veterans Affairs, but in terms of getting that back pay award from date of enactment, it is critical that people file either an intent to file a claim or a claim itself to be eligible for those benefits. And if people have questions, they can go to va.gov/PACT. That's va.gov/PACT to answer any of those questions. This was a great effort that, again, was the result of a grassroots push by veterans all across our country, and we must make sure that every single veteran gets the benefits that that law opened the door to. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.